What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and what I'm going to show you today is how to fit a shower tray. Pretty easy once you know how, but it must be done properly. First of all, put your tray in against two level bits of boards, plasterboarded, and then mark out the centre of the tray. I've got a circle, I'm going to drill a hole right through it. Make sure that like 9 times out of 10 you smack on a joist, but we've got lucky, we've landed right next to one as you can see. I'm actually putting this trap on a little bit of a flexi onto the 1.5 waist to give me a bit of movement because I'm right next to a joist, and so it doesn't leave me under any pressure when putting the tray down. So here we have putting my false bit of plasterboard in there now because I hadn't done the shower valve yet. We've lined the waist up, as you can see, it landed perfectly, piped up perfectly. We're going to disconnect the T, we're going to glue it up, and then we're going to fit it. Look at this, as you can see in the back of shower trays, it's full of dust. Make sure to give that a hard wipe down. Give it a proper wipe off so that your adhesive adheres to it, because sometimes they don't adhere. Next up, get the tray down and mark around it, so when you're preparing your sand and cement, it goes down nice. Also, make sure to always put concrete board down. Don't use ply. If anybody tells you to use ply, feck off. Concrete board only, or aqua board and stuff like that. Next up, we're going to mix up the flexi tile adhesive. A lot of instructions say use sand and cement, but in theory, I think sand and cement's terrible. Flexi tile adhesive all the way, and I've never had one problem in 10 years. Make it up. I'm going to make a nice thick batch because I actually need to level off the tray because the floor's got a slight run in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up in one area, and the tray's going to have full coverage, as you'll see, because what I like to do is I like to trowel out the floor and I'll back butter the shower tray, treat it like a big massive tile, pretty much. So there we go, nice thick batch. Here's a trowel. You'll get to see my amazing spread and troweling skills. I know any tiler watching this will be very jealous. Doesn't have to be pretty, as long as it's a good job. Good finish. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, guys. So get this spread out. I'm going to have to build this left hand side up because we've got a little run. That was quite smooth, wasn't it? That was nice. Some tiling form, can I say that on here? Back part of the tray, as you can see here, I'm giving my apprentice a wee shot. Make sure the tray's perfectly level as it goes down. As you can see, that's good. Very pucker. And then once it's levelled off, make sure you peel the plastic film off that goes, so it comes in a protective film, as you can see. Make sure that goes off, because if you put your trap through and seal it in, silicone does not stick to plastic. And what's going to happen is you're just going to create a leak over time. Again, the level's on it, make sure everything's cool. If you want to stick a couple of bags of tile adhesive on it to cement it down, that's perfect. So here's how I set the trap in. A nice bit of clear silicone round the trap. And then what I use, as you can see on the right, I've got my Rothenberger ratchet spanner. And what I use that for is to actually hook the trap from underneath and pull it up, because it's on a flexi. 9 times out of 10 I've got them rigid piped and I don't need to do this. But if you're on a flexi, look at this, pop it up. As you can see, once I take my time, grab the trap, slide it through. Bob's your uncle, you don't get silicone on your hands. Take me a little minute, a little wee second to find the thread. There's a rubber underneath on that trap sealing up to the tray. Make sure your rubber's on underneath. There you go, look at that. There we go, we catch it there. Might take you a couple of tries to get this on, but it's pretty simple. Tighten it up with your hands, and then 9 times out of 10 when I finish off, I'll get a set of grips and just tighten it up. We've managed to get a hose for the back garden. Make sure to test this with plenty of water. You want to make sure there's nothing coming through the ceiling, there's no leaks, because once it's down and tiled, you're screwed. You get one chance, plenty of water, get it rapid tested, and you're sorted. Make sure it all runs away. Sometimes trays can have faults in them too, so make sure you get water all around the tray and you test the full lot. Next up, get a silicone bead. Last but not least, sealing the shower tray all the way around. That's you done.